Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. Very exciting. Cardano finally starting to move. Maybe people realize that Cardano is really a little bit undervalued compared to other cryptos because it has undergone its long correction already. Cardano is now back above 150, which is really good to see. The question is, does Cardano now hold 150? We're approaching a key resistance level. We're going to take a look at that. And overall, it's looking interesting because Cardano is pretty much the only one in the top 10 that is moving up at the moment, and then with roughly 10% as well is really exciting. After a really good day for Cardano and Cardano holders yesterday, Cardano continues. By the way, later today I'll publish a video about my top 10 cryptos for 2022. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe if you haven't done so, and also leave a like and leave a comment for this video. That's very important for the algorithm, please. And it's really good to see that finally Cardano seems to be turning around. Still though, I'm a bit skeptical because we as Cardano holders, as you know, we are used to fake outs, and I don't want to get too optimistic too early, but we, or at least I, and I know a lot of the channel members did as well, buy at the perfect low 108. And if you want to know about my buy orders and sell orders, and learn how we determined that perfect low, then you might want to consider to join as a channel member. So let's start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin not moving a lot. Seems like Cardano is pretty much the only one moving at the moment. So Bitcoin still forming this, potential cup and handle. At least we are still in the same pattern here, moving up, getting very close to the resistance level here, where you've got the first one, which is that fib level, which is the resistance level, the first resistance here of this target area is 43.8k. But more important is probably here, it's a bit of a zone here, yeah. So it goes all the way up to 44.5k. So that is what the price needs to get to, needs to push through. So we've got a bank holiday in the US today. Volume is a bit low for Bitcoin, not there at all at the moment, and it's really crabbing along here. Now, we did say that if this is a wave 4, this could really get quite a long, boring retracement. Yeah, pretty much as that wave 4 up here was. So if you have a wave 4, they can sometimes get a bit long-winded, they can get a bit boring, and if this is one, we could potentially expect that as well. But I'm quite confident that we won't see such a long consolidation retracement here, and Bitcoin is moving here into the apex, and overall it's an ascending triangle as well. If does it become a cup and handle, we will see, but certainly what we can see here is a series of higher lows and higher highs. So I'm quite confident that at some point we are going to break through here. The uptrend isn't over yet. Of course, Bitcoin needs to do something, because if it really breaks through here, what it tried, as you can see with that wick, if it breaks here below 42.5, I think that uptrend is probably over for now. But let's take a look at Cardano, because this is really moving finally. It had a few questions about Cardano. One question was, right, I'm talking about here a potential bottom, and yes, this could have been a potential low there, even though I'm quite skeptical still, because we are still in this downtrend. But the question was, because as you know, I still expect another sell-off here for Bitcoin. If I zoom out for Bitcoin, everybody who's familiar with my Bitcoin view will know that my view is that Bitcoin should really, in a final sell-off, push down here into the area between 20 and 29k. How can I then talk about a potential bottom for Cardano? Well, first of all, this was a local swing low. We can definitely see that. One of my buy orders was triggered at 108, and this was for me at the moment definitely a bottom. Now, roughly 40% profit in a few days is not bad, but I think that Cardano, and I did say that in previous videos, needs to build that buffer between the dollar and the current Cardano price. Nobody knows if Cardano will now see its third wave, because what Cardano has done here is a wave 1 and a wave 2, and the next one would be that rocket start wave 3. Nobody knows if that wave 3 is going to start now. I think it could do, because Cardano has done what it needs to do in a correction. From an Elliott Wave point of view, Cardano has done the minimum of, or even absolutely what it needs to do in that correction, which doesn't mean it could drop further. It could drop further, but the message is Cardano has done what it needs to do. It could theoretically really turn around. So it has done the requirements it needs to fulfill to do a quick turnaround and start a wave 3. It could still mean if Bitcoin now rushes down to whatever, 35k suddenly, I don't think Cardano will just continue to push through. I think Cardano will suffer as well and will be dragged down by Bitcoin. The question is, does Cardano then hold above $1? Because if it holds above $1, the recovery will be can be quite fast. If it cannot hold above $1, it will go down probably to 65k, and that will take much longer again, But even then, at 65 cents, it will have a chance to turn around then. So I think for now, the bottom is there. But if Bitcoin sells off again, yes, I do expect probably another low. But the question is, can Cardano now outperform Bitcoin to a degree? And can Cardano build a buffer in, as we've said so many times before, that if Bitcoin really goes down into that, massive sell-off, then Cardano has probably that buffer in place and can hold above $1. That is the key thing. So overall, I would expect Cardano to see another lower price actually, but in the end, nobody knows. Nobody knows. That is why my strategy is to dollar cost average in at strategic lows. For example, this one here at $1.08 but they are more long-term trades, to be equipped for my next sell order, which is however way higher, because that's the second question I had. Is it not worth to sell now? By all means, if you want to sell, do it. But for me, that profit is far too low in the longer term swing trade. If I wanted to, because yes, certainly I know it could go down from here because we're just approaching a key resistance level, as you can see here. But it could also go through here, and I know that if Cardano breaks a certain level, and look at that, it did that last time, pretty much here at 152. Look at the chart. Yeah. When it does that, it can go up massively and quickly. And this took place within a couple of days, right? And you went from 150 roughly to 175 and so on. Yeah, so don't be surprised if you sell and then Cardano suddenly does a move like that all the way up to 190, and then in another move a few days later to 225. And that is when people will start to FOMO in. Whereas we, as a more crypto online community, identified a low here at 108 and bought it. So that's the difference. And then I don't want to buy just because the potential for Cardano is so big. The next wave up, the FIB levels, tell me that at least a 450 level $5 Cardano should be in here. So why would I sell at 150? For a short-term gain, maybe, but in my view, it's not worth it. That's about these questions. But overall, Cardano is still in this downtrend. We need to be aware of that. This is a key level, but that could push the price down. But on the other hand, this level could also be maybe the equivalent of what Cardano did back here in the beginning of August. You remember this one here, where you saw a bit of a retracement and then you just went all the way up from 140 to 190, which it doesn't mean it needs to happen. But if it does happen, Cardano can move up fast. Yeah, as you can see here. And to be fair, that is why everybody gets so bored with Cardano, because if it does these pumps, and it did that here, it did that here, it moved, just look at that. It started back in July, and it just took a month really to make 200%. And especially, even this year was a bit long, wasn't it? But if we take a look at this, call it parabolic pump maybe, this was probably right, 100%. It took more than a week, a little bit more than a week, So, and even along here, there will always be dips, but the dips will be much higher than where it started. So, I'm not selling now. My sell orders are much higher. Key resistance along the way now, which is here that 155 level, or even call it 154 of that descending trend line, that is key. Then I would say the next key level will be here at 175, that previous high, yeah. And then we've got the 181 level, which is the 0.618 FIB level along the way. And that is important because very close to that, as you can see here, that yellow line it's the 200-day moving average that will provide serious resistance as well. And then the next level would be, in my view, $2.05. We've got here a key resistance there as well, as you can see. And after that, I'd say we've got the 230 level, which provided a lot of resistance as well. This is basically this channel in which Cardano was moving all the time between here to fib, between the fib levels, the 0.618 fib level and the 0.382 fib level, between 180 and 230. But the good thing is, if we move through the fibs here, and we did just move through the $145 fib, if we move through them here, it will build a new support as well. If we retest it, you basically move up in the fib levels, which is very, very important. So, and then lastly, what I wanted to show you is the ADA BTC chart. And we've been talking about this turnaround here for a while, but it just took much, much longer than expected. And we even don't know really if this is a turnaround. But what makes me confident about this is the ADA BTC chart. I mean, just look at it. We talked about this cup and handle here when it started to form. We talked about this downtrend slowing down throughout October. And more Crypto Online viewers will know that this downtrend was slowing down on the ADA BTC chart. We then saw the low here, we saw that channel broken, we saw the cup and handle being put in place, and we now see that breakout. And yeah, it's big. It's the biggest breakout here we've seen throughout this whole downtrend, which makes me confident we could really see that. We could really here see that turnaround, and finally maybe it's there. And that's fantastic news, and especially the ADA BTC chart makes me highly confident here, I tell you that. Really, really good, really good. Yeah, that's where we are. Fantastic. Hopefully you have a great day. Hopefully you have a great week. By the way, it's full moon today. Yeah, I'm just saying that for everybody who's keeping an eye on the full moon indicator. So yeah, hopefully you have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button and leave a comment. And if you're really interested, maybe you want to also join as a channel member. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.